2, 3.
I'm Britney Armstrong.
I'm Stephanie Lomeli,
Stephanie Villa.
I'm Veronica,
and we did our presentation on gender and social organizations. Our presentation is divided into subtopics, one being social classes, then kinship groups, gender roles, and age groups.
So, social classes. In the kingdoms, city-states, and empires of Africa, African people developed complex societies organized in classes. At the top of the hierarchy were ruling elites, military nobles, administrative officials, religious authorities, wealthy merchants, artisans, business entrepreneurs, common people, peasants, and at the bottom, slaves. But outside their larger empires, kinship, sex, and gender expectations and age groupings were the principal considerations taken in that determined social position in sub-Saharan Africa. Okay, slaves. One class stood out from all social classes and were at the bottom of the hierarchy, slaves. Most slaves are captives of war who could not pay their debts, and criminals or suspected witches, and worked as agricultural laborers. Slaves were a form of personal wealth in Africa which brought enhanced social status for their owners. Africans also recognized classes of religious specialists, those who, by virtue of their innate abilities, had the power to mediate between humanity and supernatural beings, also called diviners.
African societies had kinship groups because they had no central government, and they were communities that would claim the right to land, and basically males were in charge of everything and they governed the villages together. Kinship groups were eventually lost because of foundations and economical organization, because the invention of new tools was like a major step in advancement, so they needed new, more organized way of governing.
Gender roles in Africa. Women usually worked as potters for their communities. They did domestic chores and raised children. They had more opportunities in sub-Saharan Africa, and Islam didn't really affect them in sub-Saharan Africa much. Both women and men cooperated in planting and harvesting of crops. Men worked with remarkable skills, well, most of them did, and they typically embarked heavy labor like clearing land and preparing cultivation. They mainly controlled public authority.
Okay, so in African society, people were separated into age grades, and what this was, it was just like different people separated within a few years of each other, like doing different jobs appropriate for their age. And usually the young males were the ones separated, not so much females. The members go through a series of roles for each age, so like they do different jobs that are appropriate for them. Like it could be helping the elderly or building the community. And then senior grades helped teach and lead other grades. And the members helped each other during times of trouble and important life steps like marriage or even building a household. And this also like really bonded them together, so it united them across the kinship and descent lines. And then as you like age, you go through different statuses.
Thank you.
Thank you to Ms. McLean for letting us use the room.
Ms. McLean.
And we were supposed to give you candy.
Thank you.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
Virtual candy.
We had a bag full of candy.
Yeah.
Didn't work out.